let's just say that women are not taking this new shift in reality well. And what I mean by this new shift in reality is where men are now the ones that have the advantage. Men are now the ones that have leverage as far as dating and, mingling and relationships and everything is concerned. The ball is in the man's court now. No longer are these men having to chase up behind women, having to go through hoops and loops of fire to try to get a woman, impress a woman. The women now are having to do those things for the men, and they just cannot handle it. All right. And here's the thing, and y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe. I always knew that this turn of tides would happen, if you will, to where maybe the men would kind of wake up and realize their worth, their value, the things that they actually are able to contribute and bring forth into a woman's life. To where they will be like, you know what? Why am I going through so much to try to prove my value and my loyalty and my love for these women when I'm the one that's actually helping her? I'm the one that when I enter into the equation when it comes to her, I'm elevating her, right? I'm bringing her stability and security. So again, why is it that I'm having to go out of my way to do X, Y, and Z and 1, 2, and 3 for her? Does not make any sense. And men have snapped out of that. And with men snapping up out of it, a lot of women are just in a frenzy. And I also want to say this, and again, like the video, I think that women really having to come to terms with reality and the dynamics and the climate is really forcing a lot of them to just surrender, right? So it's not this thing of, oh, I give up, woe is me. It's like, no, I understand what it is. And if I want to achieve the privilege, the goal, the luxury of having a man to be a part of my life, then I have to do what I have to do. I'm not just going to say, oh, forget it. I'm just going to make these men chase me still. And no, no, no. Women are like, look, if I want to see a real change and bring forth real results, because I know how bad I'm struggling and I know how miserable and lonely I am. My nature is to really beat me up right now. So if I want to have a man, I got to do what I got to do. I have to drop my ego. It is what it is. I get it. If I want to achieve this, I have to go out of my way to get it. No more standing around talking about I'm the prize and sprinkle, sprinkle, and a man needs to chase me. No, it needs to be an equal pursuit. But the difference is a lot of women are coming to terms with, hey, I may have to initiate. I may have to go the extra mile to find what I'm looking for. And salute to you, ladies. Because I also told y'all that that would become a thing. To where maybe you would have to be the one to pursue. You would be the one to have to initiate. And it was never anything wrong with that. And I'm going to continue to always say that. The only issue is if you are pursuing a man who does not like you, who is not actively pursuing you back, that's the only dilemma. But no, if you like something, go after it. Ain't that what Simone Biles said? Sometimes you got to do that. And yours truly did it. And look at me. Living my best life, but let's get into this, you all, because this was very interesting. And when you all sent me this over, I said, oh, looky here. Is it women having to have that good old table turned around on them and having to see what it's like to be in, I don't know, a man's shoes? Whoopsie. Let's get into it, you all. And again, like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Okay. So the title of this is Singles Mixer Fail. So she's replying to a comment that she received. And that comment says, I need an update. You look stunning, by the way. So I guess she had originally posted something maybe on TikTok of her being dressed up and cute, getting ready to go into this whole singles mixer. And so this is her update of the aftermath of, her experience. So let's get into it, you all.
It didn't go well. It actually was kind of catastrophic for me. I will tell you why. I learned that I am just not competitive enough to go to these singles mixers. I'm just not. So like I said, this was my first time going by myself. Normally I have my friend there as like a wing woman and a buffer, and that really helps me. But I am generally so anxious. Like it's just how I am. Like I can control it, but I'm just a very nervous person. So they had like these tables set up where people can like play card games. And I was at the table playing this game. And this guy comes and I thought he was so cute. For context, it's very rare that I see someone in person that's like, oh my God, like you're really cute. He was even standing next to me while we were playing the card game. We had light conversation, intro, my name is blah, 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 blah. But then two other girls showed up that were like really bubbly and outgoing, and they started talking, and then it just progressed from there. And it got so bad, when I say bad, I mean good for them, that at some point I was just like, okay, I lost that one. And I did talk to some other guys there, and it was cool, like very cool, friendly conversation, but it didn't really go much further than that. It was always like a one-off, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. And I understand that like flirting and like getting to know new people is a skill, and I'm going to have to just keep trying it. But I also don't like the feeling of like competing. It felt really competitive to me.
You mean rejection? You don't like the feeling of rejection, ma'am. That's what you're experiencing. And again, let's really take some notes here. These are the very things that men have always had to go through. Feeling anxious, having to compete, fearing rejection. You know what I mean? Like these are the very things that men have had to endure for eons of time. So to just have to bear witness to how the whole atmosphere and climate has changed to where women are now in these footsteps and in these shoes, it's like, wow, But yeah, ma'am, your issue is not competing, it's losing. And I hate to be so brutally honest, and I'm going to continue in a second, but I had to pause her right there because I only listened to this one time. So to hear it played back, I'm catching up on different things and picking up on different things. She's essentially describing the fact that she's a loser, because best believe if she was in that mixer and all of the guys were on her instead of these other women who may be more, outgoing and charismatic and perky and bubbly and pretty and all of that, she would have no problem. She would be like, oh no, I don't mind competition because you're winning, right? So it's different when you're the one on the winning end of the stick. Because now it's like, oh yeah, whatever. I don't see any competition. I'm my own competition. But when you're the type of woman that, again, may be insecure, you may not have the best characteristics and personality traits, you can be intimidated, right? It can add into you feeling insecure, you feeling like you're not good enough, you feeling small, and that's what happened. And I want to also say this, and brothers, y'all can let me know if this is true or not. But from what I have seen, especially as of late, with there just not being a lot of good quality women to really choose from. Now, shout out to the good quality women. Salute to y'all. But we already know we live in a world and in a culture and a country, right? To where it's a bunch of city girls, hot girls, strong, independent boss chicks that don't need no man, but secretly behind the scenes crying for a man. We know that they make up the bulk. So I gotta be real when I say this. A lot of the men are experiencing an issue with finding women that they can see value in outside of maybe just sticking it and quitting it. So what I've been able to observe is the fact that men don't even necessarily have to have the most beautiful woman, right? If you're a cool chick and you seem to be outgoing and you seem to be somebody that I can talk to and vibe with, you're somebody that's respectable, respectful, all of that. Yes, I'm going after her, right? So I want to bring that up to say that I don't even think that these women that she's quote unquote competing with are some of the most fine women. She didn't really bring up, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe she'll mention it, or maybe she did, I just didn't catch it. But she didn't bring up that these women were beautiful and drop dead gorgeous and they're just so much prettier than me. She said that they were more bubbly, which means that they were probably more friendly. And we all know men like women that, again, are open. You're not going to be standoffish. You're not going to be walking around, all insecure. Nobody wants that. Nobody likes that. So in her case, she could very well be running into an issue of her just not possessing the confidence that she needs, her not being able to fully display and showcase her personality, because men are prioritizing women's personality over their pretty. And that's just what I'm observing. But again, fellas, y'all let me know if I'm right or wrong on that. Okay. Is it a thing of you are prioritizing personality over pretty? Or is it a thing of like, nah, I don't care about your personality. I need somebody that looks good, and it is what it is. Okay. Or is it an instance of I need both? I don't want nobody that's average. I want somebody that's like really, really attractive, and she's really somebody that is fun and loving and nurturing and just a great time to be around. Y'all let me know. I'll actually go ahead and put a poll in to see what y'all have to say. But feel free to also put it in the chat too. All right. But yeah, she's experiencing rejection, and that's her issue. It's not competition, it's not being the winner of the competition. But let's continue. I'm gonna take it back a little bit.
Competing. It felt really competitive to me, because when you're in a social setting like a singles mixer where people are there for like common reasons, it becomes really apparent what like the stock is, like the food chain. You know what I mean? Like they're always going to be the hot items, the people that everybody wants to talk to. And if you fall outside of that list, you really have to know how to be a good conversationalist.
Well, okay, she brought it up. All right. So it's levels to it, right? And again, like the video, share the video, and subscribe. So on one hand, you could be entering into a situation to where it's like, yeah, they are hotter than me. And not only is it chicks out there that may be hotter than me, but there's also a category of women that are more outgoing and charismatic and, bubbly and conversationalist than I am, so it could be all of those different things, which again is the very things that men have had to endure for a very long time. So welcome to the club, ladies. Y'all are not telling these men nothing that they have not had to experience for themselves. All right. It just does not feel good when you're the one on the opposite end. Like that's really what it's boiling down to, but men all the time have to run into instances to where, oh, this guy over here, he may look like he has more money than me. He may be taller than me. He may have more muscles than me. He may have a better car than me. He may have a better career than me. Maybe he's the type of guy that has more gift to gab than me. Like, so welcome to the club. All right. These men have been talking about this for a very long time. And here's the catch to that though. The catch to that is the women were the main ones wagging their fingers at the men talking about, get over it. Why are y'all men just so insecure? Why are y'all men just so shy? Y'all don't want to do this. Y'all don't want to do that. Well, maybe it's because they had to experience what you're experiencing, right? So where maybe they start to feel frustrated when they're being overlooked, or they start to feel insecure when some other guy is getting more attention, whatever. So mighty funny how the tables have turned and the sentiments are changing along with it, right? I bet a lot of y'all women will have a lot more respect for the men who do approach y'all, who do go out their ways to try to make connections and everything, because that's not an easy task. Being presented with the strong possibility of being rejected and or disrespected, it's a lot, because I'm going to be real. All right. And like the video, I'm going to be real. When it comes to men, they will let a woman down way more easier than what a woman would do for them. They give way more grace. I've never seen a man say, oh, girl, get away from me. You too big. You too ugly. You too tall. You too short. You too skinny. I ain't never seen it. Now, they may say things behind the scenes, sure. But to your face, no. Whereas women have been like, boy, please, I would never talk to you. First of all, you're this, you don't have that. So can you imagine the level of anxiety that maybe men have? Because you don't know what you're going to get from this woman when you approach her. Whereas a man will be like, oh, no, thank you, sweetheart. I'm taken already, even if he got to lie. Or men are so careful about women's feelings that they would even on accident string you along just from hurting your feelings. Like, dang, I don't like her. Okay, I don't even find her to be attractive, but maybe she's a cool chick, and maybe we could vibe out and hang out. Maybe. So I've seen that happen, but just something to think about. But let's continue.
And when I'm by myself, I'm not. And it's just an L that I had to take. But y'all, I left feeling so defeated because I was like, oh my God, I had so much steam. I was so excited to just go out there and push myself. And I did not. I felt like I let myself down. Like, I didn't feel good at the end of it. I felt like I was a loser.
Oh. Y'all, and I am so sorry to keep on like comparing, but this is what the men have been experiencing for decades, right? To where they do feel like a loser. And you know what's even worse? Like I just said, the women would actually tell them, you're a loser. Get out of my face. Why are you talking to me? And I'm going to say this, like the video, okay? Ladies, you better get used to it. We're living in a new day and age, in a new time, to where men, they're not going out of their ways to, try to find a woman, connect with a woman, so on and so forth. So the men who are, you're going to have to compete for them. Because there's going to be a lot of women out there that are in search for love, a relationship, commitment. And so if we only have a select few of men out there that are putting themselves on the market, it's going to be probably about 10 women surrounding one man. And don't let him be attractive, and don't let him be successful. Don't let him be a good catch, because that's where it's going to get real steep in the competition department. And what are y'all going to do then? See, ladies, all of that I am the prize talk, it backfired on y'all really bad. See, y'all walking around like you were the good catch. You were the one that needed to be chased. And all of those different components and elements, that is what contributed to a lot of men saying, you know what, I'm done with this. Let me focus on myself. So now y'all are in a position to where y'all are having to be catty and very competitive and everything of that sort amongst each other, because y'all have ran a lot of the good men off. So the ones that y'all have left, y'all gonna have to scrap for them, sis. You're gonna have to scrap for them, and that's gonna take for a lot of y'all to humble yourselves, drop the ego, and do some work, because a lot of y'all have had to come to grips with the reality of you were not the prize. It was a whole lot of other chicks out there that were ready and willing to put that work in. So while you were waiting around on a man to chase you, he was actually running away from you. And now look at y'all. Like, well, dang, like, what's going on? Well, like I always say, oftentimes women create the very situations that they complain about. Now y'all were having to go to singles mixers to go and find a man that y'all got to all fight over. You know what I mean? Like, that is crazy to me. And it's all because y'all have turned men off so badly. So it's like, man, forget this. I got better things to do with my time. So ladies, good luck. That's all I can really say to y'all is good luck with this. I knew that this day would come. And I told you so once again. Now, I want to say this before I wrap this up. Ladies, with the climate being what it is, and this grand shift happening, how it happened, I'm going to need for a lot of y'all to step y'all's games up. No more of this entitled, selfish, needy, greedy behavior. Y'all are going to have to really show and prove to these men y'all's value. Because I'm going to always say this. The men of today do not need you. Y'all have created that type of circumstance and situation because you were not trying to show and prove your value. So the men were like, well, what's the point in being with you then? And you know what happened? The men cut y'all off and learned how to play your role for themselves by themselves. What do I mean by that? Oh, I'll tell you. I'll give myself loyalty. I'll give myself love. I'll cook for myself. I'll clean for myself. I'll cater to myself. You know? Since you're not going to do it, let me do it for me. And by y'all extending the men that type of time to be by themselves, it was a recipe for your own downfall. And look at y'all now, feeling like losers. And y'all know what the real reality check of it is? It's because you are. You are a loser. But that's okay because you can always improve. You can always do the self-reflection, the self-work, and hopefully you can evolve, mature, grow, and actually become an asset to a man's life instead of walking around like you're a prize. You know, but the men today, they know their value. They know what they bring to the quote unquote table. Now it's the women's turn to show and prove. And it's looking like y'all not taking it well. Po little tink tinks. But anyway, y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe. I look forward to something you got to say in the comment section. Brothers, y'all let me know what y'all think about this as far as like the women having to chase up behind y'all and compete for y'all now. And now you are the ones with control and leverage and advantage. Let me know. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Do you not even care because you're just so checked out? Let me know. Okay. But I am a sucker for hope and love. And so, you know, hopefully by the climate changing how it is, it will maybe entice a few men to, you know, come back to the table. You know, like if y'all start to see way more women start to show and prove their value, I think that would really some of y'all in and be like, you know what? Let me give this a try, you know, maybe. But I want to see y'all in the next dope discussion. Much love and peace to my crown heads.